Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, everybody. I am really excited for today's episode and what I'm going to share with you. This is one that you want to make sure that you have your notebook or a notepad or something to take some notes on. And, if you're listening to this in the car or while you're out on a walk, definitely come back and take a listen to it again, because I'm going to share some great information with you today. And at the end, I'm going to have some reflection prompts for you to take back and start thinking about. Today's episode, I want to talk about one of the top qualities of a leader. And I want to start it off with a quote that's going to kind of set the tone for what that quality is. And it's a quote from G. Alan Bernard, who is the president of MidPark Inc. He said, "The respect that leadership must have requires that one's ethics be without question. A leader not only stays above the line between right and wrong, he or she stays well clear of the gray areas." And I absolutely love that quote. And I pulled it from a book that I'm going to reference that John Maxwell wrote. That's the 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. And that quote was in the section that's about character. And character is the quality that we are going to talk about today. And I think it's a great quality that to kick off our conversation with. Character, it's our most important asset as a leader. If our character is not genuine or it's flawed, our team will not follow us or trust us. So let's talk about what character is. The dictionary defines character as the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Choosing to not compromise on our morals, even under stress or in tough situations, is a reflection of our character. It's similar to integrity, yet character is all about the actions that we take. How a leader handles the circumstances of each day tells a lot about their character. While crises or tough situations don't define our character, they do reveal it. John Maxwell shares in his book that adversity is a crossroads that makes a person choose one of two paths: character or compromise. I love that quote from John. He's got a lot of great information that he talks about leadership, and that's one that I have actually in my journal that I read back to myself pretty often. When we choose character in those situations, we become stronger, and it solidifies to others who we are. The development of character is at the heart of our development as leaders and as humans. Character is created in the choices that we make each day, not just the decisions we make when something big is happening or something is on the line. Are you going to finish the project, or are you going to let it go? Are you going to address the negative behavior, or will you just overlook it? Are you going to make the decision, or are you going to leave it to someone else to decide? The answers to these questions define our character. When our actions are not in alignment with our intentions or our words, then we need to look deeper at our character. So I want to dive into 4 things that John Maxwell shared in his book, The 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader, that I feel everyone needs to know about character. One of the things John shares is that character is more than talk. we can say anything we want. Our actions are the real indicator of our character. Your character determines who you are. Who you are determines what you see, and what you see determines what you do. This aligns with a formula that I talk a lot about in my coaching practice, that our thoughts plus our feelings plus our actions equals our results. We can't separate our character from our actions. It's inherently there. And again, like John shares, character is more than talk. The second thing he shares is that talent is a gift, but character is a choice. And I love that. Like everything in life, you get to choose your character. We are creating our character in the actions we take and the choices that we make every single day. Don't underestimate the power of the little choices too, because they are part of your character. The third thing is that character brings lasting success with people. Leadership will always involve people. If people are not following us, then we are not leaders. If our character is flawed and inconsistent, our team will not trust us, nor will they follow us. And again, without followers, we are not leaders. And the last thing was that leaders cannot rise above the limitations of their character. And this is one of my favorites. In my coaching mastermind, we always talk about not being able to outperform our paradigms. And character is the same. You cannot rise above your own limitations. When we lack a solid character, we're unable to sustain our character during the times of stress, and that will lead us to disaster. And let me tell you, as leaders of people, you are going to experience stress. In the book, John shares 4 A's that Stephen Berglas shared in the Success Syndrome. Their arrogance, painful feelings of aloneness, destructive adventure seeking, and adultery. Some pretty strong words and states that I'm sure we would all prefer not to experience. And that's why it's important that we are really focused on our character. So I would ask you, do your words and actions match all the time? We need to address any cracks in our character and take full ownership of them. If we don't, they will get deeper and more destructive over time, and it will be harder to correct them. So here are some prompts that I have for you to reflect on today and some actions you can take. And this is where you might want to break out your notebook. So the first one is doing that search. So search for the cracks in your character. You think of the 4 A's and the major areas of your life, not just work, but your personal life as well, because we are holistic people, and how we show up in one place is how we are going to show up everywhere. So where are those cracks showing up? Where have you cut corners, compromised, or let someone down? Write down every instance from the last 2 months that you can think of and look for that pattern of where you might have some cracks in your character. And that leads into the second one. So that's looking for those patterns. So really understanding where those patterns exist and highlight a particular area of weakness and opportunity, and where we are most prone to act out of alignment with our character. The third action is you got to face the music. So the start of repairing our character starts with taking ownership of our actions, apologizing where necessary, and accepting the consequence of your actions. If you need to, create a list of people you need to have a conversation with so you can keep track and ensure that you follow through with taking the steps to repair that character. And the last one is to rebuild. While we can face our past actions and we need to work towards the future as well, which starts now. Remember, our character is built in the actions that we take daily. So you've got to develop a plan on your area of weaknesses so you can then prevent inconsistencies in your character in the future. So again, break out your journal. Start writing down your thoughts on character, where you are in a full alignment, and where you might have some work to do. Defining and building or rebuilding where necessary. Your character is a major part of your leadership vision. It's who you are, and it helps you determine the actions you need to take that best align with your character. So that's everything that I have for this episode today, and I hope that you really enjoyed it. I just want to leave you with one last final thought is that you have everything inside of you to lead to your fullest potential. So go out and lead from your best self today. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.